Molishos, and we're back again with another episode of Real Talk with Molishos.
Yes.
This is our second episode. So today we're going to be discussing having a big wedding versus actually buying a home. And we just wanted to give you an insight on our personal experience and the decision that we chose to make. So, of course, we decided to choose the house over the big wedding. So I know it's probably crazy. You're like, oh my gosh, like why didn't y'all have a wedding? And we did have a wedding. We had a very small, intimate wedding at our house that we chose to buy instead. What kind of brought us to it was personal goals. And I'm sure you can pretty much speak on your experience and why we came together.
True, actually, we did have a wedding. You know, we did have like a couple weddings, if I can say that. So, first of all, before we met, we each had like individual goal. Like I was living in an apartment, and for me, my personal goal was before I moved this place, I need to get a house. And when I met her, she was on the same page with ownership, being able to own something and not spending a lot of money on one day, and it was I felt like we were on the same page at the time, figuring out like what we think was most important, because once we moved to that stage, and then it was like, okay, how are we gonna make it happen? Because I knew she had like a specific type of house in mind, like, oh, I just want somewhere like a 1-2 bedroom, something simple. But in my mind, I was like, let's get something a little bit bigger,
in case
we have no, in case we have babies or family coming, all that stuff, to consider. So we had to keep that in mind, and then so we decided to have like a small wedding, like the first one was like 4 people.
Yes. And that was the court wedding. So you get married in front of the judge, and we actually did that on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And the funny thing is we kind of did, things a little bit backward, if I can say that. Me being from Africa, we have like the traditional wedding and everything. But due to some logistics, the time that my family was supposed to come here, and our personal time on like closing on the house and everything was like, what, we're gonna kind of do things backward. Why the traditional wedding? Many people ask me that question. It was like, wow, but she's not from Africa. I was like, I don't care. She's not doing
And for me, I wanted to actually experience what it's like being in a traditional wedding too. So.
Yeah, that was a part too. I wanted to, because marriage is all about, we're talking about marriage and all that. Marriage is all about the exchange with the culture. Like two culture coming together. And for me, I felt like it was important to expose her to that part of my culture. So we did like the small like wedding, and then we had a traditional wedding, and hopefully in a few edits up soon we're gonna have like the big old the big, if we could call it the big wedding.
With COVID-19 and the pandemic going on, it's kind of put things on a hold, but it's not a good thing that it's happening, but it's a good thing that it kind of stalled our personal plans, because it gives us time to actually plan for what we really want.
Sure.
And I feel like we're rushing to do it. So as he was saying, like personal goals, before we met, I was like, I'm buying a house. Like I'm done renting. Like this is what I want to do. I was doing the research. I was going to the classes, looking up grants. I was doing everything that I could to make sure I was in the right mindset of actually getting to the bank and closing on a house. So us coming together, us figuring out what we want, going through the whole buying process, going to look at homes. It was beautiful, and not once did I think like, oh my goodness, I'd rather do a big wedding instead. And I feel like a big reason of that is, like you said, it's just one day. And I feel like the house that we're living in right now, this is something that we'll always have forever. Yes, you'll have memories of a wedding, but we really just wanted to do things smart. To me, it just didn't make sense.
To us, it did not make sense.
It didn't make sense to get married and go to an apartment. Like, it just didn't.
Don't get us wrong. You know, it's fine if you do it the other way around. You know, that was just, like I said, you know, we sharing our story. You know, we're not knocking any other way is wrong. You know, this is what just made sense for us. You know, for us, it was just like, well, we don't want to spend $30,000 on the day, and we can just spend that on the house. Yeah. You know, just, you know, it didn't make sense, you know. And, you know, it's all about, like, it boiled down to communication. You know, all about feeling like, you know, making sure you guys on the same page. That's what for us. I don't know about you all, but that's just us. And then it turned out to be great. And, you know, and, but a lot of, you know, we're gonna be honest, you know, the buying housing process, all that, it was, stressful. I would say, putting everything together was kind of stressful. You know, like planning a traditional wedding, it was really a big deal. And making sure the house, you know, was done. Because for me, it was a big deal to make sure that, you know, when my family come here, they can see that, you know, hey, we did a great job. You know, going through the process of making sure everything was all right, so everything was, you know, I still do remember, it was, we bought the house, February? Yes. And the wedding was supposed to happen in May. And we had like literally we got the keys in March. Yeah. And we had 2 months to basically renovate it. And like, it was crazy. Let me tell you that. It was fun though. I still remember this day. So we, like, I told her, you know, I know I got connections, you know, I do have connections. You know, I got connections, people can flip houses. And she was like, well, you know, we can do the stuff by ourselves. I'm like, heck no, I'm not going there to just do everything by myself. So I called my peeps and, you know, we made a plan together, you know, like, oh, you know, you signed the contract and everything, you start the job. So the plan was, we only touching the floor and we're changing the bathroom, right? Yes. So after we bought the floor, you know, I was like, man, this doesn't look right. This just doesn't feel right. So we probably gonna show you probably in the next episode. Like, give you a tour of our house and like the before and after. So there was a wall, a small wall, probably like 45 feet. I don't know, a small wall, like probably this high, like between the kitchen and the living room, if I can say that. And I was like, this is so ugly. And then I called my guys. I was like, well, I want this wall to be gone. So she was at work. Y'all, I came home from work and the wall was gone. And she was like, what the heck are you doing with that? I was like, no, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. She was like, oh my, it was such a mess, but it was a beautiful mess. Yes, looking back, I wish I would have trusted you more in the process, because he does have an eye when it comes to decor and like renovating. And like I said, in the beginning, it was like so much going on. I'm talking about the whole house was tore up basically, but he had a vision. It came to life. It was beautiful. And I just want to say thank you. Oh, that's so cute. And I still remember too, that was when the house was almost done. And, you know, there was still some touch up to do. And she was upset because, you know, she wanted the house to be moving ready by her birthday. So it was kind of like slightly, I would say, a week after. So she was upset on her feelings and everything, you know. Like, because mind you, we're like in a 1-bedroom apartment with all our stuff ready to go, packed up in boxes. That was not that bad. It was crazy. I've seen worse in Africa. I'm just kidding. So anyway, so we moving, you know, like in the house, they were still doing some work and everything, and she was furious. Like, we had like a week before my parents came in and everything. I was like, it's not gonna be done. Like, it's not gonna be ready. Oh my gosh. She came in after work, upset, took a shower, whatever, she went to bed, and I called my friend. I was like, you gotta come here, like now. So he came home. He came at the house around like 11 p.m. and we put the living room, the dining room table together. Everything. We put like furniture together, like everything. And I was like, oh, you know, at least when you woke up, should be a less. I woke up and the house was done. Like, I was like, we worked probably for like 4 hours or like it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah. But it, like you said, it was crunch time because like you're talking about a week
before his whole entire family flies across the world to come to stay with us. So I'm like, it had to be in tip-top shape, and it did. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to.
So it's all down to the planning, you know. It's all about the planning, because you know, when you guys have a good planning, for us it was a good planning, but you know, of course, you know, it's always gonna have some stress, you know, and everything. But it's all about what you like, you know, what you want. That's worked best for us, you know, and you know, we work good in that sense. She was doing all the reading and legal part.
Contracts.
I was doing everything else, so everything was perfect. So it's up to you, you know, whether you want to spend all that money. You don't have to, but if you want, it's up to you.
It's up to you. Yeah. But I think being millennials and thinking forward and thinking about financial freedom, I do feel that it's a great idea to be able to invest in ownership and maybe scale it down a little bit when it comes to the big wedding. Not to say that we're not going to do it, because we still are planning to have a big wedding, but I think for us it puts us a step forward because we already have an investment property out of the way.
And not wood down I don't know what you say in America, but hey, God forbid if something happened, we can sell the house and you know, we can take the money, whatever, and it's an investment. So it's just up to you and what you want. So anything else you want to add? No. So this was the house versus the wedding, episode 2. And thank you again for watching this video with us. And we are the Molishos. We come back again with other interesting topic, so you can see a part of us. We welcome you in our words, so we can be transparent and share with you all. And you know, thank you for tuning in, and follow us on Instagram. You follow her, and she will add all the nice stuff. She does it better than me, so
all the links will be below, so you can subscribe, follow us, all that great stuff. And tune in next week, because we're going to be bringing you videos weekly now. And we'll see you all next time.
And stay safe. Much love. Bye.
Yes. Bye.